Your lack of morning wood isn't just about sex. It's your body screaming at you that something is wrong, something's changing. If your morning wood's gone, if your drive has disappeared, if your body is just not what it used to be, this is your wake-up call. The truth is most men don't realize just how closely tied in your libido is to your overall health. So when your testosterone starts tanking, your stress hormones are on the rise, and things just aren't working quite the same way as they used to, your body flips a switch. It essentially says through its actions and its mechanisms, we're not in a state to reproduce right now. We're past our best. If I'm being completely honest, we're slowly starting to die. Let's just shut it all down. So in short, simple bro science terms, that's why your morning wood starts to fade over time. That's why you don't feel the same drive, energy, masculine sort of aggression for life as a whole. Now, it's not necessarily because you're just getting older. It's not just a numerical time elapsing sort of thing. It's a hormonal thing. Like for me, for example, I was 19, right? Should be at my prime at 19 years old. Had 400 testosterone. My sleep was awful. My morning wood was non-existent. My libido was low, and it's quite embarrassing in some situations. And then as time progressed, I'm now 30, so 11 years later, morning wood every single day, libido is rock hard, no more brain fog, and have absolutely no issues in the bedroom department. So I've aged and I've improved. So at age 30, my testosterone hit 1020 nanograms per deciliter. My libido exploded, morning wood every single day. And this, of course, was natural, as I keep going on about. TRT is for men who are 60 plus, who have already had all their kids and probably grandkids at this point, and are not bothered about the infertility and the other problems that come with TRT. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to double your libido naturally, and I'm going to say this, we're going to measure this by frequency of morning wood. So whatever you currently have, it's going to be twice as much as that. So if it's 0, let's just call it, twice a day. We'll pretend it's once per week. So it'll be twice a week. To be honest, though, it's an exponential curve. Tiny changes will do this. If you do everything I'm going to say in this video, it'll be more than double. It becomes more of an exponential. And so the basis of this is getting your testosterone to 8 to 1200 total with decent free, which is the foundational goal of everything I talk about here. But you must get your cortisol levels relatively low. Your adrenal health needs to be decent. I just want to quickly mention that if you want to guarantee success with all this stuff and get my one-to-one help and serious accountability, there's 5 coaching spots going to be opening up, available in November. Join the free wait list below the priority list, and you'll get all the updates there. So, continuing with the video, really it's getting the testosterone up and the cortisol down. There's a lot of overlap between those two things, of course. Now, the first principle, so this is huge, is you want to be getting out of the fight or flight mode into survival and more into sort of thriving, you want to get out of your life is going to end if you don't act fast. Like your veins close up, the blood flow goes downhill, you're producing testosterone is the last thing your body cares about when it thinks it's going to die. So you need to calm down. However you need to do this, meditation, breath work, getting the stress down. The biggest thing is sleep. But before we can seriously you can't logic yourself into 8 hours of total sleep and 2 hours of REM sleep every night. You need to do the right things first before that, which starts with the morning routine, natural sunlight into your eyes, failing that red light therapy. Loads of people ask me about this body tech, like a small one that gets the light into your eyes. That's all you need. Evening routines, very important. You want things like magnesium, GABA, perhaps a warm shower, something that calms you down and sets you into a relaxatory state. Reading a fiction book is huge. No one seems to take my advice on this, but I'm telling you, if you want to sleep well, fiction book before bed. Not being on screens all the time. We're all so addicted, it's crazy. If you have to be on screens, I don't believe you do. Really good blue light blockers with the tint so that you know it's actually doing something. Another thing on light, you don't just want to stop the blue light getting into your eyes. You also just don't want very, very bright lights in the room. You want the lighting to be dim, dark. Think cave. Your bedroom needs to represent a cave-like environment like our cavemen ancestors would have had. Lower light, very little stimulation, not too much noise. Allow your brain to start relaxing and then read the fiction book as well. Telling you guys, this is how you sleep well. So a second big factor is going to be diet. So it's going to be cholesterol, which I've gone on and on and on about. All the basic nutrients for health and hormonal success. Organ meats, oysters, I've spoken about these before, will do the trick. So this is zinc, B vitamins, copper, iron. Vitamin D is more of a sun thing, but eggs has some, fatty fish has some. All the nutrients you need, basically. A huge thing with sleep and cortisol issues is blood sugar. Your blood sugar needs to be relatively stable. You don't want it getting too low overnight. If it gets too low overnight, this is what causes your brain to wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning, and then you can't get back to sleep. And the reason you wake up is the cortisol spikes because it's telling your body to go and eat something. But this one thing will screw up everything else. You don't want. This is why I don't recommend necessarily keto or carnivore for everyone. You want to have some sort of slow digesting carbs in the evening with protein, potentially casein proteins or cottage cheese or something like that. You want to keep that glycogen, blood sugar relatively stable. Also, even throughout the day, if it's going up and down, up and down, up and down, it tends to make the cortisol response a little bit questionable. It's stressful for the body. You want it all to be relatively stable. And this is a dietary thing. And again, if your cortisol levels are high, it closes the blood vessels, it stops blood flow, and you're not going to be having strong libido or morning wood. And again, you've got to be fast asleep 2, 3 in the morning. This is when the precursors to morning wood occur. You're not going to have, even if you've got high testosterone levels, if you're up at 2 or 3 in the morning, you're not going to be having morning wood every day. It's going to seriously impede your libido and drive. A third huge factor is going to be cardiovascular health. So it starts with your heart and then it flows through the rest of your body. If you want optimal blood flow down there, you need to have to be healthy here. The vascular system needs to be working properly. And it starts with cardio. This is for libido. So not everyone, when I work with someone one-to-one, if your number one goal is just testosterone or it's mostly physique or it's focus, I'm not going to be focusing on cardio that much. If your number one goal is morning wood, you should be doing some cardio. Like it sets the foundation from a blood flow standpoint. Popping Viagra pills is just absolutely insane if you're not doing any cardio. Lifting weights, everyone knows this. Lifting weights, especially the lower body, anything that really gets the heart pumping, is also useful for blood flow. Another huge factor is nitrates, and then they get converted into nitric oxide. So beets are really useful. L-arginine, L-citrulline, potassium's another important one. All of these things dilate the blood vessels. So again, you can't be really, really stressed out, massively overdoing the caffeine, being sleep deprived, and expect all these things to be quite as powerful. But if your cortisol levels are low, your adrenaline's low, and then you add all the nitrates in, and potassium as well, the blood vessels will expand more. Combine that with cardio, your blood flow will improve dramatically throughout the entire body. And there's pretty strong sort of trickle-down effects to down there as well. And this will stack with the higher testosterone levels, and you're going to start getting morning wood more frequent. Now, this video has been about doubling your libido and morning wood. Follow everything in this video, and I guarantee you will get there. especially if you look at blood work and see where you're currently going wrong internally. But we briefly spoke about cardio, lifting weights. If you want to learn more about lifting weights, check out this video where I talk about one pretty powerful exercise that is going to do a lot for your libido, but for your testosterone especially. So we're all about getting that to that 800 to 1200 natural ideal range. This exercise will help you to do that significantly.